I guess how do you, in the meantime, while that's happening, far, far away from Suffragette City is Clash City, where for the past few weeks, one of your fellow survivors has been learning the spin from a rather eccentric teacher. That would be Simone. Spin, as it has been presented to you, Simone, is a sort of mix of art and combat. It is dancing, it is singing sometimes, it is cooking, it is music. Do you know how to play any musical instruments?
I would say she knows how to play something like zither or the guzheng. Know what
Oh,
the
wow.
exact.
No, that's fancy. All right. After you're done training on most days with Lord Cambria, he would probably demand that you play that instrument for him while he dances and drinks some kind of very sweet liquor out of a very small cup that he likes to twirl around while he dances without spilling any. He acts like it's like a very big, strong drink, but it's actually just a very light, like cordial, sweet, just kind of low alcohol drink, but he makes a big dramatic deal out of it. That is the sort of training that you have with him. It's a lot of flourish and a lot of just strange presentation of the self. Like I said, equal parts art and combat, truly a martial art. During those times when you're not doing that sort of thing, learning how to cook and swirl foods around in pans, dancing, that sort of thing. Lord Cambria likes to go out into Clash City and just kind of spin around and act like a complete buffoon and wait for someone to challenge him and then just beat the dog shit out of them. And it doesn't matter how tough the opponent is, how big they are, or how many there are. He does this thing where he will sometimes drunkenly sway towards them or dance or act like he's dropped something until he'll point this out to you in particular before any of this happens. He'll just say something like, "Wait for me to get into the right position, and you will see the ratio." And you'll notice it when he gets into a pack of people that look like they're ready to beat his ass. He will kind of make his way to a good position and then just completely start to just to shithouse all of them like at once. He does it in very strange ways that involve like swirling flourishes of his legs and his feet, or sometimes an object he's holding. And sometimes it just looks like the regular sort of drunken kung fu that you might have seen in movies, but other times he'll do stuff like, you know, pick up a just a stick and fence with it kind of beautifully, or just open-handedly backhand somebody like with lightning fast speed, and the sound of the slap is like enough to crush their spirit. But the more you can observe what he's doing, the more you can see that he is acting out from a golden ratio that he's found. And the strikes that he is doing, if you had a camera and you could freeze frame it, you would see that he is striking like right at the precise point where he wants to, causing the precise effect that he desires because he is following the path of this ratio, this spiral, this endless spiral. Everything is measured. Go ahead and give me a spin roll. This will be for you while you're out with him. You can use your calipers to measure the perfection of what he's doing. With a 1, you can get a brief sort of glimpse at it on occasion. You can see that there is a very precise way that he is doing almost everything that he does, down to talking and walking. There is like a little something off on occasion. Only you would notice it because you are the one who's paying the most attention to him on a very regular basis. There will be times when he coughs or steps just a little bit off, and he will quickly like kind of recover himself. But knowing what you know about this man from the time that you've spent with him, everything is so precise and controlled that those moments when he is a little bit off look like he might be sick or injured. It's difficult to say because he never talks about it and he just completely covers it up. It's a split second, but you can tell when it happens. How would you like to supplement your learning experience with Lord Cambria? Because he is very fight happy, he's very drink happy, and he's very food happy. But there might be something that's more relevant to your character with learning about spin and the golden ratio. Do you have anything kind of to throw in?
Perhaps like understanding how it relates to the body's motion, like supplementing it with biology and how the motion of bending to slap someone maybe helps attribute to the golden ratio, that kind of thing.
The moment the words biology come out of your mouth, if you ever to ask Lord Cambria about this, he will hold up a finger to you for a second, reach into his very fluffy coat pocket, remove one monocle, and slowly put it into his eye. Ah, yes. I am something of a scientist myself, believe it or not. The importance of the golden ratio in biology cannot be overstated. I think with the proper tools and a very solid foundation scientifically, there are very likely to be many ways that you could apply the spin to all sorts of different sciences. Biology being the most basic one, but probably the most applicable. Because when it comes to growing shapes that have the golden ratio, biology is your bread and butter. Don't you think?
I would agree with that. Yes.
Very good. I'm glad we have reached a consensus. He takes his monocle out and then wipes it off on his coat and then puts it away. You know, Simone, our time together has been fruitful, but I have read the repeater network, and I think it is almost time for you to return to your friends.
I have kind of read that as well.
I hope one day that you will return and we can continue this training, but if not, I will understand. It would be quite a tragedy. He actually stops the cough. He couldn't roll that R. Ugh. But you will be back, I am sure.
Indeed, I will. Take care of yourself, eh?
I take care of myself. I take care of the people I am with. I take care of all the fancy ladies. I take care of Julio. He works down at the store where I buy the many fine olives that I like to use when I eat them in salads and put them in martinis. Yes, I will take care of all these things. He then begins to sort of like dance in place.
I'm glad. And she'll kind of join him, actually.
As he's dancing with you, he actually stops. Oh, wait. There is one thing actually I wanted to give to you as a present from teacher to student. He reaches into his coat again and takes out a rather large, intricately made set of calipers. These are for you.
She'll gaze at them for a while and then give a little flourishing bow and take them as a student to a teacher and say, "Thank you so much. This means perhaps more than either of us know. Thank you."
One day, Simone, you will learn, I think, that there are a lot of things in life that are worth protecting and cherishing, and there are some things that you shouldn't dwell too long on. I didn't mean to be sappy right now. If you look at the calipers, actually, you'll see I have signed them. True to his word, if you look at one of the prongs of the calibers, like the arms, it's signed like this with that many R's.
Of course.
Very good, very good. Before you go, feel free to have some of these frozen shrimps that I'm going to eat, and also if you would like a glass of this grenadine.
Yes, that would be lovely.
Yeah, he offers you a little shrimp cocktail and the tiny glass that you've seen him drink from. It's a second glass just as tiny of grenadine, which it's a syrupy mixer, not meant to be drank straight. So
Of course.
it's not strong at all. But he seems to, every time he drinks it, he takes like a small sip and goes, like it was spicy or very strong. It's not at all.
Oh, dear.
He sets you off with your fancy calipers, a nice light meal, and well wishes. There is something maybe I would say that would bother you about Lord Cambria, and that's that there's talk around town of this group that seriously wants him dead. You may have even run into one or two of them in your time in Clash City. Twisted Nerve, they're called. They're spin masters. They wear spiral on their clothes. They're very serious. They're very deadly opponents. But Lord Cambria seems very unbothered about them. You want to get back to Suffragette. Are you taking the train? Are you catching a flight? You could even drive if you really want, but
She would probably drive, yeah.
well, the drive is relatively peaceful. There is an odd thing that happens on your way back driving. There's like a turn that you're supposed to make. You know, you're in an automated vehicle, so your vehicle should know to make the turn. But when you make it sort of too hard and turn into a different lane, one that would lead to a direction that goes back to Clash City. And on the sort of shoulder of the road, there is a man kind of standing and twisting a hand a little around at your vehicle. And in his other hand, that is not the one being held up, there's a set of calipers like yours, but they are black and they are long and curved.
Oh my.
You would probably be able to see he's wearing like an open jacket with a spiral t-shirt underneath. Once you get further enough, there's another person on the shoulder of the road who turns their hand in a similar way and causes you to turn into another direction. At this point, your experience with the spin, you can tell they are using spin to fuck with your vehicle's guidance. If you could actually look at the map of your vehicle, like the GPS map. They're trying to turn you into what is like a dead end / rest stop. It's like marked as inactive on the map.
Oh boy. Is there a way to kind of avoid being driven right straight into this dead end?
Yeah, you could try to take control of the vehicle. You will notice though on the map that dead end location is go ahead and give me a spin roll. Okay, you pass. That dead point is in the middle of a spiral. If you were to zoom out and look at the roadway, you would see that it's been placed there, possibly disabled, maybe even who knows how long this has been set up or like how this works, but they're guiding you into the middle of a spiral formation. And every time your vehicle passes one of these, they're twisted nerve, they definitely are. Every time your vehicle passes one of them, the more that your vehicle speeds up each time, you're going deeper into this spiral. Like you're going faster and faster, and it's getting harder. Even if you were to go to manual steering, it would be harder to resist the turns that they're doing. And it's such a it gets to be such a quick hard turn that if you were a normal person, you'd be starting to get nauseous by like just how much you're just turning and turning and turning. What would you like to do to resist their attempts to, it looks like, trap you or cause you to get into a wreck?
Probably try to switch to manual and at least try to go against the spin they're kind of pushing and get away from this as soon as possible.
If you try to resist, go ahead and give me a spin roll, passive opposition 3. You might need to invoke for this. Don't be afraid to burn several fate points for this.
I will burn the fuck out of this and try to re-roll that.
Okay, you don't even need to, so you just use the one and you're able to pass. So as you're being guided, the lessons of Lord Cambria about proper position, about how you turn the wheel, about the spin on the wheels of your vehicle, all these things begin to just click, allowing you to gain control of your vehicle. You can now break out of their tailspin, their death spiral, if you want, and turn around and start to reverse it. Or you can, there is one definitely close enough on the side of the road. You can actually engage them if you want, or you can just get the fuck out.
Right now, she'll probably go for getting the fuck out.
As you go to reverse your course, spin a Yui, get the fuck out, you see them re-fuck with your navigation, but they just can't seem to grasp it. And they look very, there's a strangeness to them, I would say, because of the time you spent with Lord Cambria. They look like nerds. They just look like angry nerds.
How angry?
Super, super angry. That now that you've like fucked with their flow and broken it more or less, they are very pissed off. Each one you pass looks angrier than the last. Sort of like when you were spiraling down, they were getting more menacing, more grinning, more like smug. And then as you go backwards through the spiral to escape them, they're getting progressively more pissed off as each one sees you until you can leave them behind. Whatever they were leading you towards likely was going to be your doom.
Probably.
You could always go back and look to see what it is, but
no.
it's
I'm
fine.
good.
That was your first full encounter with Twisted Nerve. Judging by the fact that they knew where you were going or had an idea and had set that up, there is a chance they may follow you into Suffragette City. But for now, they're on foot, and you are fast in your vehicle. Every turn you make now along your path, if you're manually driving, feels like you're speeding yourself even further along to where you want to be and not in the grasp of danger and death like they wanted to lead you to. Good job. You survived.
Thank God.
There is a figure that was waiting for you at the rest stop, the spiral carved into their face, who is very disappointed, just folding their arms and staring at the sky and pouting.
Well, they'll have to wait to meet me again sometime later.
Sometime later. That's what happens to Simone. She'll be joining you guys shortly. She just has to drive and then stop at a rest stop and get some Twinkies and some Gatorade and